Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good day and welcome to the second episode of my exclusive interview with Alfazazee Na Mai, former Nigeria's Trade Commissioner in Taiwan. Remember, the program is the Whiteblood Panorama on your favorite channel, Whiteblood Multimedia. And I'm your host, Umar Isa Dandago. In this episode, we're going to be focusing on both trade relations between Taiwan and Nigeria, and also how the diplomatic tension between the island and the second largest economy and the most populous nation, China, has likely affected Nigeria. Where is Taiwan? I know a lot of people will be asking this question. Taiwan is an island roughly 100 miles from the coast of Southeast Asia, and that's according to the BBC World News. It sits in the so-called First Island Chain, which includes a list of US-friendly territories that are crucial to US foreign policy. The BBC World News report by David Brown continues to say, quote, Washington has had a long-standing policy of quote-unquote strategic ambiguity on whether it would intervene militarily in the event of a China attack on Taiwan. China's President Xi Jinping has said reunification with Taiwan must be fulfilled and has not ruled out the possible use of force to achieve this. China sees self-ruled Taiwan as a breakaway province that will eventually be part of the country again. However, Taiwan sees itself as an independent country with its own constitution and democratically elected leaders. Diplomatically speaking, China and the United States are at each other's throats over many issues: Hong Kong, Uyghur Muslim minorities, and of course Taiwan. Let's not forget COVID-19 and Huawei. But in what ways has it affected Nigeria, especially in terms of trade with both the giants and specifically Taiwan? Well, Alfazazee Na Mai, former Nigeria's Trade Commissioner in Taiwan, is back in the studio to take us through these and many other issues related to that. Thank you very much indeed for coming back.
Thank you very much.
Well, briefly, in our previous interview, we went through your life, your biography, and your professional life as well, your career, how you rose from state to federal level, and the drama that happened when you are working with the Commission of Women Affairs, something like that. Now in this episode, we're going to be more focused on the Taiwan-China relationship and how it affects Nigeria, and your work there as the Trade Commissioner, literally the Nigeria's representative in Taiwan. So briefly, before we come to that, please help us clarify these issues briefly. What is the difference between an ambassador, trade commissioner, high commissioner, and consular? What's the difference?
Well, actually, the difference between an ambassador and high commissioner is actually one.
Okay.
If you hear high commissioner,
yeah,
that must be a person sent to a country as an ambassador, which is in Commonwealth.
Okay, Commonwealth nations. To clarify, Commonwealth countries are those countries that were colonized by Britain.
By Britain, exactly. So if the Nigerian ambassador in Britain is called High Commissioner, not ambassador.
Okay.
Exactly.
Likewise, the Pakistani ambassador in Nigeria can be called High Commissioner.
High Commissioner.
Because Pakistan and Nigeria
are all former
British
colonies.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that is only the difference. Okay. Otherwise, all other persons representing their countries in other countries are called ambassadors. That is the that is the requirement of the nomenclature.
Okay, good.
Yeah, actually, the general name is ambassador. But whenever you hear High Commissioner, it has to be an ambassador sent to a Commonwealth country, and this is a special name they prefer. I don't know how it was coined or how it was adopted, but that was the difference. Okay. A consular is a person who works under an ambassador in an embassy.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. So it's also part, is like you are saying, this is a director, and this is a deputy director, and this is an assistant director. So a consular is someone next to the ambassador, but he's not the ambassador himself.
I can see here in Kano, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Sudan,
Yeah.
all of them have offices in Kano, and they call their representatives as consulars.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is briefly about it.
Well, actually, because of this, for Saudi Arabia, the special relationship has to do with the pilgrimage.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the number of pilgrims from the northern part of Nigeria, Saudi Arabian embassy find it very convenient to locate an officer in Kano to issue Saudi Arabian visas for all the northern states.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the embassy in Abuja takes care of all the southwest, and the southeast states.
Okay.
But the consular office in Kano handle all visa applications from the 19
northern states.
Northern state, exactly.
The other term, which is very much related to this, is diplomat.
Yeah.
When we say somebody is a diplomat,
Yeah.
does that have to be an ambassador or anybody working for the foreign service?
Yeah, actually, the only person that can carry the title of diplomat is someone who works in a foreign ministry.
Okay.
That's why I told you I am a trade commissioner and not a foreign affairs officer.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, because the posting to Taiwan is handled by the Federal Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and has nothing to do with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
So why is it that we cannot send an ambassador to Taiwan? Because Taiwan is a country, it's thought by the Western powers to be an autonomous sovereign nation.
Taiwan, as far as the United Nations is concerned, it's not a country like Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, in the United Nations, United Nations recognizes only China.
Okay.
Yeah, actually recognizes only China. So, and China insists there will not be two Chinese countries in the United Nations. So it has to be them and not Taiwan. Before, Taiwan has a seat in the United Nations.
Yeah.
But when the economic power of China become accepted worldwide, they now exert enough pressure on the United Nations Security Council to expel Taiwan from the United Nations and make it a pariah nation, which it is up to now.
Okay.
I can tell you, having worked there for a long time, all the major countries, United Nations, Germany, Britain, EU, each had an office in Taiwan, but it's not an embassy.
What is it?
They call it like Nigeria call its office trade office, and the officer handling the affairs, a trade commissioner. They also like the United States office is United States Institute in Taiwan. That was the official name.
Okay, even the United States does not have an ambassador.
It's not an ambassador.
Is it a double standard that the US and other Western countries are saying publicly on the media that Taiwan is an independent and sovereign nation?
Nobody says.
No, they say.
And the world. Nobody among the key nations in the world, Germany, Britain, or the United States, can publicly say Taiwan is an independent country. Nobody.
So,
for fear of repercussions and from China.
But why is it that the US is saying it's prepared to intervene militarily when China attacks, something like that?
Because Taiwan was a creation of the United States. Historically, there was a struggle for power and leadership between the Chinese in mainland China.
Okay.
And the group which the United States supports were uprooted from leadership and power by Mao Zedong and his group.
Who was he? Mao Zedong, who was that?
Mao Zedong was the first publicly known leader of the Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. So Mao Zedong and his group fight the group backed by the US, and they drive them away.
Okay.
And they come to the Taiwan island, which is not very far away from China. And the US, the aim was the US is going to finance them, arm them, give them intelligence, whatever, to go back to China and take over from Mao Zedong and so on, which didn't happen. Which didn't happen because after Mao Zedong succeeded in expelling these characters from China, they went into the rural areas and mobilized people and tell them that the communist system they are installing is the best policy for everybody in China because of their population, which is working for them up to now.
Yeah.
So Taiwan was actually developed financially by the US, and so the Taiwan become like since they are Chinese,
yes.
There are inhabitants in Taiwan before the coming of the Chinese from China. Yeah, actually they have locals.
Okay, the original people.
They have the original people who speak some kind of Chinese, but it's not what is spoken in the mainland China.
Okay.
But when these Chinese came in with their money and their resources and their technology, they took over the island, they developed it, and the locals were happy.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they were ordinary farmers.
Good.
They just farm sugarcane, corn, millet, and pineapple, and they also get salt from the sea, which they filtered and said.
Okay.
These are all ordinary, actually, but the Chinese and the American came in with modern technology. So, I mean, every nine out of 10 computers, laptop computers you see in the world are made in Taiwan.
Wow.
Every nine.
Every nine out of
10, yeah, actually.
Wow,
every 9 out of 10 laptop computers you see in the world today are made in Taiwan. Don't worry whether it is Toshiba or it is German or it is British or it is Japanese made. They are still made in Taiwan, and you put the company logo that this is made in this Taiwan. Is made in Japan or Germany or England or whatever.
So that makes it strategically important to China.
Not only that, the nearness.
Okay.
Yeah, actually,
the distance is 100 miles.
Yeah, actually, with the modern technology undergo, I'm not, but you know better. You can be able to filter what is going on the radio waves and so on from nearby, and get some intelligence which will not be possible if you are not on the island.
Wow.
So that is how strategic the Taiwan island is to the US. Because they have already envisaged the growth of China and what China will be in subsequent years. So they need to check the progress, and they need to know what the Chinese are up to.
So what's the similarity and difference between Taiwan on the one hand and Hong Kong on the other to China and the United States?
Hong Kong case is much different from what the Taiwan is, from the experience of the Taiwanese. Hong Kong had never said they are not part of China. Okay. What happened was the British conquered China and dragged them out of Hong Kong and settled and make Taiwan like a vassal state, which they colonized.
Okay.
But there was an agreement that the Hong Kong island will be handed over back to the Chinese after so many years.
Okay.
In the agreement, I think it took about 100 years. And the British stay in Hong Kong and develop Hong Kong to its present level. And after the 100 years, it was officially handed back to China.
Okay.
So there is no quarrel or dispute in Hong Kong as to their being Chinese.
Okay.
But there is in Taiwan.
But the people of Hong Kong,
Yeah.
the Hong Kongers, are feeling more connected to the West than to their mainland China.
Of course, down the road, if somebody colonizes you for 100 years and develop your country and make it easy for you to compete financially, technologically, and so on, you feel even the political system in Hong Kong is more like you are in the West.
Liberal.
Even in China, even in Taiwan.
Okay.
Taiwan now is a liberal democracy. They have two major parties, and they hold election every 4 years to elect their president.
Wow.
So I'm actually seeing, the China's insistence on having Taiwan as a threat, because when Chinese mainlanders came in, whenever they come into Taiwan, they are surprised as to the freedom.
Wow.
Yeah, actually.
Which they don't have.
Which they don't have
in Beijing.
Actually, because you can sit down and criticize government and nothing happens to you, which doesn't happen in China. You can't the two of you, in fact, you and your wife cannot discuss or criticize the government in your own house.
Why? You are alone.
Nobody trusts. Maybe the wife is an agent, or the husband is an agent, and you are bound to report.
Okay.
Or else, if you are caught, you will be charged as an accomplice.
Treason.
Certainly.
Something like that.
Yeah, actually.
This is really serious.
So there's a difference. Hong Kong had never claimed not to be part of China.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's now talk about this issue. When did you go to Taiwan?
Actually, like I was saying in the first episode, after my stint in the office of the First Lady and the coming of the civilian regime in 1999, and the President Obasanjo saying he will not maintain the First Lady's office, we the admin officers there, found ourselves back to the office of the head of service, and I was posted to the Ministry of Commerce, where I stayed for only 1 year, and then because all officers then in charge of the office in Taiwan were officers sent by the former military regime. The new civilian dispensation wanted to make changes, and actually I was lucky. I was lucky again. The Minister of Commerce then was from Niger State.
Niger State.
Yeah, Engineer Mustafa Bello. May Allah bless him. Yeah, actually, he's still living. Yeah, actually.
Good.
Yeah, and the gentleman handling the office of in Taiwan then was a deputy director.
Okay.
So he instructed that among the serving deputy directors in the ministry, one should be selected to go and relieve the officer in Taiwan.
Okay, good.
Yeah, actually, and two things. Of course, Allah is the guide, but two things work in my favor.
Okay.
The permanent secretary. The permanent secretary in the then Minister of Commerce was a lady. I didn't work with her in the Ministry of Women Affairs.
Yeah.
She happened to be. She was elevated to the position of permanent secretary during Obasanjo's regime and posted to the Minister of Commerce. So actually, when she was asked by the minister to pick, and she must have seen my work in the file in the Ministry of
Good.
Secondly, there was another director who is in charge of the Department of Commodities, also from Niger, who the minister from Niger consulted.
Okay.
Because there are also deputy directors under him. But actually, I work with that. I work with that director in the Federal Ministry of Communications before coming to the Ministry of Commerce.
Good.
So actually, the permanent secretary and the director of
they recommended you.
Yeah, actually, so I think that was what gave me the leeway to get appointed and go to the office in Taiwan.
So in 2002, you went to Taiwan.
I went to Taiwan in August 2002, and I stayed there until February. In fact, we came back 2nd March 2016 after spending 14 and a half
14 and a half years.
14 and a half years. Yeah.
I'm sure those years were really great, and they were full of success stories and challenges. Before we come to that, what was your role specifically in Taiwan?
Like I said, the name Trade Commissioner was only coined to please China. That Nigeria is not setting up an embassy in Taiwan. Let me give you the historical background. Nigeria during Ibrahim Babangida's time wanted to set up what is called export processing zone. And in the world today, Taiwan is the #1 country which specializes in establishing export processing zone. Export processing zone, for your information, undergo is a center. It's a center you create for investors for foreign investors
to come,
including local investors, but mainly for foreign investors to come and manufacture and sell their products either in your country or export outside. Yeah, actually, it has a lot of advantages. Somebody making, for instance, making computers in Taiwan and selling in Africa will have to transport the finished products from Taiwan to West Africa and then redistribute.
Yes,
it will be cheaper if the factory is sited in Nigeria and then redistributed
to other parts
in Africa. You cut the transportation cost. You cut so many costs,
so many expenses.
Exactly. That is the advantage of an export processing zone in a country. And Babangida wanted to adopt that policy to fast track Nigerian industrial development. And so he asked for a consultancy from the US. And the US embassy in Nigeria advised him that the best country to advise him on export processing zone is Taiwan. But then we have no diplomatic relation with Taiwan. Only with China. And Chinese have no idea what export processing zone is. So there was a dilemma. And the Minister of Foreign Affairs came up with this idea that, okay, fine. Since we have an embassy in China and we cannot set up a second embassy without
creating diplomatic tension.
Without creating diplomatic tension with Chinese. The issue of export processing zone has to do with commercial activities. Somebody from the Ministry of Commerce will be in the best position to handle the office because he knew where the government is going.
Good idea.
So that's how the office was initiated, and the past 2 officers were sent to Taiwan as trade commissioner and deputy trade commissioner.
One interesting thing from your speech is that Nigerians are really brilliant and intelligent. Look at the scenario. Look at what the process of the creation.
This country. Only our creator knows our potentialities.
Really?
Yeah, actually. That's why all this issue of Muslim ticket and all the nonsense you hear. I'm telling you, it is all foreign ideas specifically targeted to dividing and balkanizing the country. Because if Nigeria, as we are now, continue, nation building is not a child's play. Even the US, we see now, and we are hoping and making efforts to copy. They struggle. They even had a civil war before they become what they become today. But look at the US today.
Yeah.
Look at what US is able to do. They have now come back and dominated Europe and England and
including the
including
colonial masters.
Including colonial masters. Why? Because of the diversity.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the secret of US diversity. They have so many people with so many with God-given intelligence which they can tap from.
Sure.
And that is what Nigeria is, and that's what they have foreseen. Because if Nigeria develop its full potentialities, it will challenge Europe, and that is what they don't want.
Okay.
Look at what is happening with our project in Ajakuta.
Yes, yes.
We tried much as we can to get the steel technology from Europe, from either England, which they have, or from Germany.
Okay.
But they refuse because they know if Nigeria can develop its steel
industry,
who will now buy the steel from Europe? So they forecast that and say, look at the huge market they will miss, and they denied. We went to Russia. The Russian, then a communist, agreed to come to our aid and started. But the British and the Europe went back to Russia and said, you must be mad. Who will buy your steel if you develop the Nigerian steel? Who will buy your own steel? We help them with, and so Russia started pulling back, and we have unfinished. It's about 90. A lot of the project to produce the steel is about 99% completed, but the 1% is vital, and it is withheld.
Really heart touching. And really
actually. So
sad.
So
we. I'm sorry, we got a lot to discuss, but unfortunately time is never by our side.
Okay.
We have like 2 minutes to go briefly,
right,
before we allow you to go and have some rest.
Thank you,
Mr. Ambassador. I really want to. Okay.
I prepared to be the commissioner.
My friend Abdul Hakim said that we will just be calling you ambassador.
Okay.
To us, you are an ambassador.
Okay.
I mean, to him,
yes, okay.
to me on air, I have to say it as officially as it is trade commissioner, but off air, my friend Abdulakim prefers to call you ambassador.
No problem.
Okay, fine. So briefly, one thing before we go.
Right.
What was the benefit? Okay, which between Nigeria and Taiwan, which has benefited from the trade relation? Just in 1 minute or less.
Frankly speaking, from my experience, Nigeria benefited more from the Taiwanese than what Taiwan. Taiwan office in Nigeria is just a prestigious office. Taiwan wants to be associated with big countries, and Nigeria in Africa is one of the, in fact, the most important country you should relate with. That's all the Taiwanese are getting from Nigeria, but they don't get much trade.
Okay.
Yes, actually, but there are so many. During my 14 and a half, at least about 13 companies have migrated from Taiwan and set up offices in Calabar, Kaduna, and Lagos. And these companies have employed several Nigerians, and they have help in the passing technology and so on.
Did it happen with your help?
You said?
Did it happen with your help?
Of course.
Them bringing their workforce here.
Of course, undergo as the representative of the country. You any Taiwanese company wishing to come to Nigeria must come to my office. We brief him about the country and the opportunities and the challenges, and we also prepare his visas. Exactly, and also help in making sure that he is received well when he comes to Nigeria and he's accommodated, and that nothing happens to him within the time he is to set up his company and start working. Good. And then become familiar with Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria benefited more than Taiwanese, to my understanding.
Yeah. Do you speak Taiwanese language or Mandarin Chinese?
I don't.
Or both?
I don't actually, but my children do.
You didn't care to learn?
Well, I have the opportunity to learn, but picking a second language is not a one-day's job, and I've been trying to go to tutorials to study Chinese, and working in an office full time is difficult actually. So I started. But I didn't go very far. I discovered that actually I better concentrate and do my job.
So I hope one of or some of your children would one day come here and have an interview with them.
I told you my 3 daughters are coming for holiday in July, and if they come, I will let Hakim and they are there. If you want to, actually they speak fluent Chinese.
Good. That would be great.
Because they were local. Yeah. When we were there, they were 10-year-olds and so on, and they study with the locals. So actually, they can speak. In fact, that's why they get jobs.
Wow, good.
They are teaching English, and they have the advantage. Wow. If they are teaching, and in the course of the teaching, there was difficulty, they automatically switch back to Chinese, tell the children the equivalent in Chinese, the children pick it up, and then lesson continues.
Wow. Looking forward to hosting them.
Inshallah.
So, your word of advice?
Actually, having worked in the civil service for 36 and a half years, I got an extra 1.5 years due to God's design. Anybody, any young man, coming up and wishing to succeed in life should hold on to the virtues of integrity, honesty, and one also had to hold on to his religion as tight as he can. Yeah. I mean, these are the guiding principles. If you are honest, and if you are God-fearing, and you have integrity, you will find your relationship not only with your Creator, but your relationship with other people you come across is cemented, is boosted, and anybody dealing with you knew he is assured. Yeah, I mean, he is assured you are a trusted person, and you can be trusted for
anything.
For anything.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Trade Ambassador Alfazazee Na Mai. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Nanda.
Thank you very much. It really has been an honor hosting you.
Thank you very much, Nanda. Thank you very much.
So, on behalf of everyone that has contributed to the show, and the big boss, Zainab Abdurrahman, May Agogo, I'm Umar Isa Dandago saying goodbye and have a wonderful day ahead.